Okay, this video picks up where the last video left off. The trick for remembering the set 5 and 6 ions on the common ion sheet that end in 8. What you need to be able to do is remember this sentence. Nick, the silly crafty camel, ate a clam for supper in Phoenix. You also have to know how to spell the word Phoenix. All right, so if you take a look at this sentence, you'll notice that there are some underlined letters. Okay, the underlined letters represents a symbol of the element with that polyatomic ion. So nitrogen becomes nitrate, silicon becomes silicate, chromate, carbonate, chlorate, sulfate, phosphate. These are some of the major polyatomic ions that we'll be using all year long. Now, when you look at the word, the number of consonants is the number of oxygen atoms that will be in that 8-ending polyatomic ion, whereas the number of vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and Y, will be the charge of the ion. Okay, so let's take a look. So for Nick, okay, this is for nitrogen. So you'll see Nick has 1, 2, 3 consonants. So it'll be NO with a 3 for the 3 oxygens, and it has 1 vowel. So it'll be a 1 minus charge, and we name that nitrate. Okay, next up we have silly. Okay, silly is for silicon. Okay, silicon. So we have 1, 2, 3 consonants. So that's SiO3. And then we have 2 vowels, the I and the Y. So that's a 2 minus. So this is my silly friend, Silly Kate. Get it? My silly friend Kate? Ah. All right, crafty. All right, we have crafty. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 oxygens. So that's CrO4. And then we have 1, 2 vowels. CrO4 2 minus is chromate. Okay. And then we have camel. All right. Camel is 1, 2, 3 consonants. CO3, 2 vowels. 2 minus, that is carbonate. Clam is for chlorate. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, Cl, and then you write O3, and then we have 1 minus charge. ClO3 is chlorate. Okay, supper is 1, 2, 3, 4 consonants, S, and then O4 for sulfur, sulfate. And then we have 2 vowels, 2 minus. SO4, 2 minus is your sulfate. And then phoenix, you got to know how to spell it. Phoenix, like the order of the phoenix. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 consonants. P, O4, 1, 2, 3 vowels, 3 minus. Phosphate. All right, and that is how we use Nick the Silly Crafty Camel. All right, so practice writing it out. Nick the Silly Crafty Camel ate a clam for supper in Phoenix. Okay, Nick is for nitrate, Si is for silicon, Cr is for chromate, C is for carbonate, Cl is for chlorate, sulfate, phosphate. All right, and then you can go through and you can write out what nitrate is going to be, silicate, chromate, carbonate, chlorate, sulfate, and we'll squeeze phosphate over here. And you should be able to go through and identify how many vowels and how many consonants you have to write NO3 1 minus, SiO3 2 minus, CrO4 2 minus, CO3 2 minus, ClO3 1 minus, SO4 2 minus, and PO4 3 minus. All right, if you practice, they get easier, and eventually you will just know the charges and formulas for all of these, but you will be using these throughout the year, and you need to know them. All right, not just, oh, I need to know them for the quiz and that's it. I know all teachers say that, but like, I'm actually telling the truth, I promise. All right, and another thing that you can do is that these not only help you with those common 8 ending polyatomic ions, it can help you with the common 8 polyatomic ions, like nitrate, chlorate, sulfate, and phosphate all have ites as well. Nitrite, chlorite, sulfite, phosphite. And all you have to do is keep the charge, change one less oxygen. So instead of NO3 1 minus, it's NO2 1 minus. ClO3 versus ClO2, SO4 versus SO3, PO4 minus PO3. Charges stay the same. Okay, it's all about the oxygens that change. And that is Nick the Silly Crafty Camel eating a clam for supper in Phoenix.